Just the other day, we covered this Screen Rant review of Black Myth Wukong that was just utterly embarrassing. The media is out there to besmirch Black Myth Wukong solely because it doesn't go with the woke agenda. It is not woke. They didn't allow consultancy companies like Sweet Baby Inc. influence this game at all. So they're out here writing hit pieces, trying to say that the people that make this game are misogynist, that they're sexist, and that they say vulgar things, all the typical smear campaign nonsense. And we covered that this article actually eventually hid the writer's name. They put Screen Rant team. It has since been discovered thanks to Grums, Smash JT, who actually made a banger video about this, Minimal Effort podcast, and a few other people, that the writer in question actually worked for this consulting firm called Splendid Communications, which is exactly like Sweet Baby Inc. It's this little DEI group that comes in, tries to make your games politically correct and all this mumbo jumbo. And if you don't comply, guys, they basically write hit pieces on you. And if you remember, this actual article tried to use the whole false IGN article that was written by Rebecca Valentine quite some time ago that she refuses to retract. And it talks about how there's been reports of misogyny and sexism, and that they feel that playing as a female gamer allowed them to notice issues surrounding inclusion and representation. So yeah, they took off points in the review for lack of female characters and inclusion and diversity. First I've ever heard in a video game ever, which is ridiculous. They said as far as chapters 1 and 2 go, while characters are clearly fictitious and fantastical creatures, there were no female or feminine NPCs, enemies, or bosses present. So we talked about this, and I gave my thoughts. These people do not like video games, guys. They hate gamers, especially straight white male gamers or men in general. They don't want video games to be fun. They want political, woke agendas and narratives, woke ideologies that promote what they want. These are all political activists cosplaying as video game journalists, which is why Screen Rant had such an epic fail. Well, it's been revealed that this is the writer that Screen Rant is protecting. Yeah, they removed her name on the article for safety reasons, which basically means the heat for the kitchen was way too hot, so she got out of it. They've since deleted all of their social media except this old Twitter account, which last time I checked was still up, but their LinkedIn is now gone. LinkedIn is completely gone. They've been exposed for who they are. They've been exposed that they are a political activist cosplaying as a senior staff writer that works for that consulting firm. So the fix is in, guys. They're out to bury Black Myth Wukong because they didn't comply. There was that whole allegations that Sweet Baby Inc. tried to extort them for $7 million. You've seen stuff in the past where at GDC, Sweet Baby Inc. says they will scare the marketing departments of these development studios into getting what they want. These guys, they hide behind this whole activism thing of diversity and stuff. They really don't care for diversity. They just want an echo chamber to promote whatever weird things that they want. It's like twisted activism, to be completely honest. Like real feminist, real activists are looking bad because of wild and crazy people like this individual, Samar Abedian, who's the senior staff writer at Screen Rant that's being protected. So all of her social media has since been gone. Deleted, gone from the internet because her article was just so ridiculous, where they just bitched about lack of female characters, saying that the lack of diversity and inclusivity resonates with the misogynistic comments reported to have been made by developers. So they're pushing that whole Rebecca Valentine narrative still that is completely false and protecting her. So the internet basically has been calling her out, scaring her away. You can see Sid Alpha says the author is Samar Abedian. She's a senior gaming guides writer for Screen Rant. And after going through her articles, this is literally the first review she's ever written for the site. So how are you a senior staff writer? To me, this is kind of like a weird situation where it's quid pro quo, guys. Where, these people get pushed and promoted because they're friends with somebody, friends in low places. So she's a staff guide writer, but now she gets to write a article, and then the first one that she writes, her name gets removed for safety reasons. Nah, this is a deep rabbit hole here, guys. And now it's the Screen Rant team protecting it. So they've been exposed. People have been talking about this, uncovering again, like I said, Grums, Hypnotic, Minimal Effort, Smash JT, all talking about it. And if you go back here, it says the Screen Rant reviewer, Samar Abedian, is a self-proclaimed advocate about creativity and cultural representation. To these people, everything must have representation in order to push their agenda, including a game about a monkey, a pig, and other purely fictional and non-human characters. Exactly. This is a game based on Chinese mythology, and they're bitching about modern audience DEI inclusion diversity nonsense, guys. This modern audience never shows up. They never support anything they bitch about financially. That's why cosmetics in these games that are Pride Month themed or whatever are usually free, because the wokies will not monetarily support anything, guys. It's known fact that modern audiences do not exist. Nothing. Says to these people, everything must have representation in order to push their agenda, including a game about a monkey. Like I said, the main character is a fucking monkey. All right. And then it goes on to say, what's worse, everything that does not have their preferred representation must be torn down and derided as hateful. This is pure evil, revisionist, and dogmatic as hell. So yeah, basically, and he says it right here, she went out of her way to libel game science, repeating the debunked allegations and slamming the review score. As a result, to 6 out of 10. Other outlets are rating in the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Then after her hit piece, she did what they always do, which is go vanish. Ninja vanish, right? And you can see he just exposing this. He's talking about how everybody's dug, saying after attacking and slandering the Wukong and his developers, people started digging. It turns out that Samar works or had worked for a PR consultancy group called Splendid Communications. Splendid, of course, is a PR firm that pushes for the usual DEI crap. Another consultancy group poisoning gaming in every product they touch. So even before she was called out, she hid. She deleted her LinkedIn and ran. I believe game studios have a right to know their false accusers, and that if you're a game journalist, attacking developers that are putting yourself into the spotlight and should at least attempt to stand by your work. Of course, that never happened instead, right? So yeah, just even Vera Dark came out here, exposed all this stuff. Like this lady that wrote this article, working for Splendid, has been absolutely buried, called the fuck out. After launching her attacks against Wukong and its developers, Game Science, Samar deleted her online presence and Screen Rant ran cover for her. Neither she nor Screen Rant will stand by what they said. Instead, they alerted the byline in real time to pretend the article was written by a team. Of course, they cited the usual dreck that it was for safety reasons, but these are not innocent bystanders. These journalists self-insert, deliberately tank reviews for politics, and baselessly and false accuse game developer of horrific things on a massive press platform. By doing so, you must stand ready to receive legitimate criticism. They're not. They're not. Look at how all the people of Kotaku that are on Smash JT's Kotaku Detected react to being called out and criticized. They try to shut down websites. They contact wives. They act unprofessional to a full tilt. They're all unhinged psychos, thin-skinned. Look at Kalandra, what he tried to do with me, basically smear campaigning me. By doing so, you must stand ready to receive legitimate criticism because you are the attacker and accuser, and Game Science has right to know and face their accusers. Anything else is cowardly, underhanded, and deceitful. And imagine defending this. Imagine being so anti-right-wing grifter and anti-grubs that you defend this behavior, guys. Imagine. It's fucking ridiculous. I hope Screen Rant... You guys are the next Kotaku, literally, running cover for this. And it's obvious that there's a fix, a conspiracy against this game. They're worried. that this game is going to do well, and it doesn't have anything to do with wokeness. They can't have that, guys. We cannot have fun. We cannot have our cake and eat it too if they're not allowed to put their politics into the game. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you on the next one.